You're listening to a Zaboys Media Podcast.
And I don't care what you say. I need pictures of Spider-Man. He's a menace. Ah. Wait. That's totally the wrong Marvel property that we're doing, right? We're not doing Spider-Man today.
No, not Spider-Man.
That would be a great Make It Make Sense, actually. That would be an amazing Make It Make Sense. Maybe next season we'll do a Spider-Man compilation. Not this season, though. It's the season finale of Make It Make Sense. Hello out there, Internet land. I am J. Jonah Positive C.
And I'm James Thorny Thornquist, a.k.a. Weapon Y, I guess. Instead of... Not the letter, but W-H-Y. Weapon Y.
Weapon Y. Why did you do this to me? It hurts. And if you couldn't tell from the big X behind me, if you're actually watching this, we'll put this on YouTube maybe and some video shorts. You'll see the shenanigans that we're doing. We'll see me puffing a giant Wolverine cigar while Thorny actually looks like Wolverine. We're talking about the X-Men movie series, White Trash Wolverine. I need some meth, bub.
Oh, no.
But yeah. We're talking about the X-Men movie series today on Make It Make Sense, our season finale. We've had 14 great episodes. We're doing it more like a Netflix style season, the 14 episodes, not the 50 something that they used to have shows do, 20 something episodes. No, 14 episodes. Get in, get out. We'll retool, have some fun next season with some more classic things. But Thorny, tonight we are delving deep into a movie series that I think we've probably watched every movie.
Yeah. Well, almost. I think there's 2 that I haven't watched. But tonight we are talking about the X-Men. Yeah. Marvel Universe, Fox Universe, all of it. We're talking about as much X-Men as we can tonight.
Yeah, the Doomsday is coming.
Yeah,
as the previews have said, and so with Doomsday coming, that means that the X-Men are coming to the MCU. So, we're trying to get that algorithm, baby. So, season 2 just came out and apparently is amazing. I've watched the first few episodes. Yes, pretty good, good animated TV show. Reboots are work with animation. X-Men algorithm time, and we're going to talk about maybe the main continuity of X-Men movies, the main 7. But James, there are how many X-Men movies that we could possibly talk about?
14 X-Men movies on our 14th episode. Now, I don't think we're going to get to 14 because, like I said, 2 of them I've never seen. And some of them really don't matter in the actual X-Men timeline. But you know what? I think that's what we're here to do, is make it make sense. So we'll see if we really need to make all 14 make sense.
Yeah, because that actually would be the ultimate make it make sense. Can we make the X-Men timeline make sense? We would be in podcast, internet, pop culture royalty if we could somehow make that all make sense and all actually fit together. I guess we should start at the beginning. Let's take us to the year 2000.
I'm so happy someone else knows that. Literally, when I was doing the research, I was like, year 2000. In the year 2000.
Yeah, Conan was still in his prime. There was so much going on in the year 2000. But superhero movies weren't yet where we'd know them in like 5 years time, and they definitely weren't near where they are now, because I think before X-Men,
I think we got Blade.
Blade would have been the best modern superhero movie. and it's so different than X-Men to a point.
Yeah.
But it still kind of gave us the leather clad, kind of darker, more realistic, and it gave us a blood rave too, which I think X-Men probably needed.
What were you expecting? Leather, or yellow spandex?
Yeah. I was expecting. I think Blade had like an afro, maybe. No, that was Power Man. Anyway.
All right. Well, in the year 2000. A little quick summary here about the very, very little plot synopsis. And we had to really, really reel these in today so that we could do as many as we could. So, X-Men, also known as X-Men 2000, set in the year 2000, premiered in the year 2000. Senator Robert Kelly pushes for a Mutant Registration Act. Charles Xavier establishes a school for gifted youngsters. And it now homes a group that fosters peace and coexistence between mutants and humans, known as the X-Men. Eric Linzer, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not going
to. Yeah, Lincher.
Kidnaps world leaders and a young girl named Rogue so he can use her mutant ability to amplify his own, while also using a machine that will allow him to turn humans into mutants so that he can ensure mutant dominance. These are hard. An amnesiac Logan, aka Wolverine, is along for the ride, although hesitant to help.
The original plot of the X-Men, a pretty good superhero plot. Big bad villain wants to turn all the humans into mutants, not really realizing that would probably kill them, or even if he does, he doesn't care, which is great. And then he's got to kidnap him. It's a lot of good plot. So I guess the plot we need to make sense. Does turning all humans into mutants make sense?
No, because now you're no longer special. If everybody's a mutant, then what is the point of having mutants? Like that? It's kind of the big flaw with Magneto when we first meet him is that he's like, I'll make everyone a mutant. Well, the thing that made you special no longer will be special, and you might not be one of the most powerful mutants in all of history because of this.
Yeah, because all he knows is that Senator Kelly turned into a goo man and gooed his way out of his cell. He doesn't know that Senator Kelly ended up turning from gooey into water. He doesn't know that. And then whenever he's confronted with that, when Storm lets him know that this would happen, he basically says, I don't care. I'm going to use the Statue of Liberty as a great symbolism there for that Statue of Liberty being used that way. Love it. Great superhero. Just setting too. That is a fantastic in fight at the Statue of Liberty. I think that is actually, I think a lot of movies try to capture that again. Later on in the series, they try to capture that final fight at the Statue of Liberty, but can't really pull it off in the same way. I don't think it makes sense either. I don't think that's a good plan. Can we make it make sense?
Can we make this plan of trying to turn all humans into mutants make sense?
Yes.
I mean, I can understand the thought behind it of if everybody is the same, then and nobody is special, then we all have to learn to coexist in peace.
Yes.
But does that plan make sense? No, because as we know from human nature, that even if people are the same, because we are all the same, we still find ways to decisively divide ourselves. So you would still have, at minimum, 2 different groups that decide to fight and war against one another. Maybe 3, maybe 4. Who really knows?
We've seen in the comics that that the mutants have their own hierarchy within their community themselves. You know what I mean? Like there's a fantastic storyline that they have not touched in the movies yet called the Morlock Massacre. And it is where a group of mutants that that's kind of the unseemly of them. They're the ones with powers that don't really help or aren't really good in battle. They're kind of the quote unquote ugly ones and things like that don't really do anything for society besides exist. And so they're forced to live in the sewers. It's bad. And a group of mutants called the Marauders massacre them. And that is an example of mutants kind of doing their own separation. So, yeah, no, that wouldn't make any sense. I think this would be a better thing that instead of turning everybody into mutants, try to find a way to make the mutants that already exist more powerful and take over that way.
I do think that is a better plan. Like I said, because, I mean, we understand that Magneto's driving force is this idea of he wants mutant kind to prosper.
Homo superior.
Yeah. But as we see through multiple stories, a lot of the time the plan really is for him to be more powerful and to lead the mutant species, I guess is what we'll call it. So, or the phylum, I don't know what's the biology term would be.
Comment the biology term underneath if you know it.
So yeah, really, yeah, I think that's a much better plan. The idea of let me make the current mutants of this world stronger so that we can, and maybe what it is even then, maybe you strengthen the mutation gene so that more mutants are being born and less humans are being born.
Actually, that's an even better plan right there. Unlock that X gene that might be dormant in some people, and I think it's passed along from the dad. We find out in the next movie, X2, that it is passed on from the dad. So yeah, it is definitely something that I think that's a good idea. I think you nailed it, Thorny. In fact, you nailed it so bad or so good. Let's go ahead and move on to X2, X-Men United.
Well, do we want to roll to see if that plan works out better now, or do we want to wait till the end and have to try to remember?
No, because we'll forget. We'll forget. Right. None of us have a mutant memory.
Well, here we go. Let's do a quick roll to see if empowering the mutant X gene and allowing more mutants to be born or making stronger mutants works. Ooh, that's a 3. Which would
they die?
Yeah, I think I think you end up creating a mutation upon a mutation that then causes the extinction of mutants.
Yeah,
the plan goes haywire.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. Like you start getting Beast is a perfect example of a mutation on a mutation. He was a regular looking man with big feet and big hands and was kind of a bigger guy. His secondary mutation made him blue. With fur. Made him
the blue monster that becomes feline at some point. I don't really understand how that happens, but
oh boy, those comics. But yeah, so that would not be good. We'd actually probably end up with a lot more monstrosities, and it would further the fear of humans with mutants. And then we would probably have a lot more people that were in the middle going, no, we can't have these things around. Like my best friend's a dog now. I can't do this.
Yeah, I say it probably causes the Mutant Registration Act to actually be more empowered, and people start hunting down mutants, putting them in segregation camps, and we see is that House of M where that happens, or is that one of the Apocalypse
House of M is when Magneto and his basically family are rule everything. That's different. That's a different story. I think God Loves Man Kills. Is that one?
I don't know.
God Loves Man Kills. God Loves Man Kills is actually a little bit more of X2 again. So it's Mutant Cure. Yes,
yeah. So moving into X2, which was titled X2 X-Men United, set in the year 2000, premiered in the year 2000, opens with an assassination attempt on the president by a teleporting mutant known as Nightcrawler.
Wait, in the year 2000, mean the year 2003,
sorry.
2003.
Yeah, set in the year 2003, premiered in the year 2003. My mistake. But yes, it opens with the assassination attempt on the president by a teleporting mutant known as Nightcrawler. We find out the attack is orchestrated by Colonel William Stryker to incite public fear and increase support for a Mutant Registration Act. Weird. Stryker then attacks Xavier's mansion to capture him and obtain secret mutant files. Wolverine, Rogue, Iceman, and Pyro escape the mansion and team up with Magneto's team in order to save Xavier from Stryker's secret base at Alkali Lake, where it is revealed that Stryker is attempting to build a Cerebro system and force his own captive son, Jason, who is a telepath mutant, plus Xavier, to locate every mutant on Earth. Also in the facility, we learn that Wolverine's adamantium skeleton and amnesia is due to an experiment performed by Stryker in the past, somewhere in like the 1980s or 1970s. And we also see Magneto make a turn heel and reveal that he wants to use Cerebro to locate and kill all humans.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. Which, if we want to start backwards, because that's the best plan in the movie.
The
best plan in the movie
and kill all humans.
Yes, that's it. That's like I know that's not a good plan, as in it's like a thing you should do, but Magneto has already got Xavier kind of, in dead to rights, basically taken over. Might as well go ahead, do what you need to do right there. And then what's anybody gonna do? They're all gonna be gone. Then it's just mutants left. You know what I mean? Then you have Homo Superior, and you get to rebuild the world in your image. You know that Magneto has a lot of plans, like comic book and TV show Apocalypse.
Yeah, he does. There's
a lot of survival of the fittest.
Yes. Yeah, it's weird that those two didn't really work together that often.
It is, yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird, it's a little Apocalypse is weird anyway. But yeah, so first plan, I guess, would be Stryker kidnapping Professor X. Would that be the first kind of plan? Oh no, the assassination attempt on the president.
Yeah. Well, the assassination attempt, plus Stryker trying to once again incite fear so that more people want to do the Mutant Registration Act. This Mutant Registration Act, 3 years down the line, is still a big issue, which that's believable.
Oh yeah.
But it's been taken up by an entirely new person now, or maybe he was in the background of
X-Men.
Senator Kelly's plans to do so, and then now since Kelly's a mutant, he's stepped up to be like, I'm the ringleader of this crazy, government bill I'm trying to pass now.
Right. And Trask in other media is he's not in the army. He's actually like a private guy in most of the other things in other media. So it's kind of weird they made him a military guy. It's like they combine him with another character, I think, pretty much, and like kind of like, all right, you're this, but because Boulevard Trask isn't in the military.
No, and Boulevard Trask comes up later in this movie franchise. But if I remember correctly from the comics, him and Stryker do work together.
Oh, Colonel William Stryker. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, right.
So Stryker is the military operative that basically ran Alkali Lake and created Weapon X and Lady Deathstrike, Deadpool, technically. Who else? I want to say not Domino, but
no. Well, I guess Sabretooth would have been. Yeah.
I think he enlists Sabretooth to work for him. And it's been so long since I have looked into my X-Men lores, but if I remember correctly, he created all of the original X-Force before they were mutants, like when they were just a spec ops team. And then he used them to turn them into weapons, mutant weapons or something like that.
Yes, and in the one in the timeline and stuff we're talking about, yes, that is William Stryker. But in this is what I was thinking of. In the comics, he did work for the military, but he is like an evangelical preacher in the comics, and he like leads the Friends of Humanity. He's he's that
Yes.
person. That's that. Yeah. So that's the different. They made him pure military in the movies, which I think was so they could do the Weapon X thing and
Yeah.
kind of tie that in all together. So yeah. I think that Stryker trying to instill fear is a bad plan because I don't think that that's needed really.
No, I think that's just them trying to. I think the writers were just trying to tie movie 1 and 2 together without having such a far leap to do it. So they were like, this Mutant Registration Act thing is what we'll continue to piggyback off of. But the real, like, we're going to make the bad guy this human military leader who wants to locate every mutant so he can put them on the Registration Act. But in doing so, he's using his own son as a tool to do that because the son can brainwash people telepathically. So
the Cure is in the next movie, right?
Yes. Yeah, the mutant Cure shows up in 3.
Okay. That's right. Okay, so no Cure in this one. So yeah, that means that another plan in this is the X-Men working with Magneto and Mystique.
Yep.
Bad plan.
Oh, bad
plan. He has been proven time and time again to not be trusted. Just in the last movie, you guys were at each other's throats. He was just in prison. No, terrible plan. They should have X-nayed that from the very get-go, not working with Magneto and Mystique.
Yeah. And then, of course, like you said, I think Magneto's plan to take over control of Cerebro and Xavier so he can locate all humans and kill them. It's not a bad plan. It goes right back to the first movie, though, where it's like, once again, you're taking out what makes you special and so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's almost like in these movies, Magneto forgets that he is the master of magnetism. And damn near everything in our world has some form of metal within it, whether it be beams for buildings or iron in the cement, or I don't know, micro flipping bits of minerals within your bloodstream that you could just and kill somebody. So
yeah, wink, wink, hint, hint. You watched that movie. and also just to get this out of the way, we're talking about 7 movies. I would say 6 out of 7 are worth a watch. Maybe 5 out of 7, actually. 5 out of 7 worth a watch.
I'd give you that, yeah.
5 out of 7 worth a watch. We'll tell you the ones that aren't. Not this one. This one definitely is. This one actually was one of the better ones.
It was good. I remember when this came out, and I was like, midnight showing, here we come, and was so excited for it. Man, yeah.
And then
does Magneto's plan make sense? Does Stryker's plan make sense? It does make sense.
No, Stryker's plan does not. Stryker's plan, no.
Yeah. Stryker's
methods, yes, though. Use telepaths. Like, if you can weaponize these things, I said things, I feel so bad. If you can weaponize
these people,
these mutants, these people, these humans as a do it if you can. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. Like trying to create weapons out of people with abilities in the mindset of a military person, not personally Positive C's mind. Let's get that out of the way. That makes sense to try to use because it's a resource.
Yeah.
And a valuable resource.
Oh, exactly. The fact that a lot of these people with these abilities can withstand such extreme situations means that your average military isn't going to be able to stop them all that often.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Again, put Magneto up against a bunch of people with guns, which we see in the first movie and I think the second movie. He's unstoppable in that situation when your bullets are made of metal, when your guns are made of metal. So you got Xavier, who can literally get into people's minds and tell them, hey, turn your guns on your allies. Yes, weaponizing these people makes sense. So I can't say Stryker's plan doesn't make sense, but could it have been better?
Yeah. Oh, much better. Much better. Much better. Yeah. Because he's got a telepath. He should have been able to find out that Wolverine was around. before showing up to the X Mansion and getting most of his men slaughtered by Wolverine before things went bad. So it's kind of like, yeah, you got to learn how to use the equipment you have, and he didn't use it very well. So I think, and so here's where I think we roll. Instead of Stryker completely just using these people like tools, he creates a true volunteer force, like maybe he might do later on, or force that they were forced to in other movies, but creates a force of mutants. You know what I mean? Like an X-Force before an X-Force or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, we need your abilities. Come with us, and you guys work together to harness, do what Xavier's trying to do secretly, but above board.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Like, go get some government approval and be like, hey, we can use these people on our side to help protect our country. But because he has so much hatred and so much, in a sense, racism towards this group of people, because let's be honest, the whole comic series literally is an allegory to the race riots and the race wars and all of that back from the past.
The 60s, yeah. I mean, it's race, it's sexuality, it's being different and having to fight because you are different. That is what the X-Men and the mutants in Marvel are all about. Even though there are people around with abilities as well, for some reason these people with abilities are looked upon as lesser. Because you have superheroes all over that universe, but because these people are born this way, they are looked upon as pariahs in the world. And so, yeah, definitely a lot of allegories there.
So how do we make Stryker's plan better, or how do we make the X-Men's plans better to not work with Magneto and Mystique? And who else is on their team in this one? Is it just the two of them? I know Pyro joins them.
Yeah, Pyro joins them. I would say the best way for them to deal with that is to stay away from them, to leave, to not pair up. Yeah,
just don't pair up.
Just don't pair up. It's very simple on that one. You can walk away. You guys are adults. All of them are adults. Just walk away. Leave in the forest.
Well, it is a school for gifted youngsters, so maybe they're not fully adults. Their frontal lobes haven't fully evolved yet.
What? Yeah, maybe. I mean, what here? It's Nightcrawler is a full blown adult.
That is
Halle Berry is an adult.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Famke Jensen, adult.
Yeah.
He's out of the movie for most of the movie. Actually, he is. Cyclops gets Professor X for most of that movie.
Jean Grey, she's an adult in this movie.
Yeah, they're all adults.
I will. For anyone who hasn't watched it, spoiler alerts: Jean Grey does die in this movie. Anyways.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Let's let that plan. Jean Grey stepping out of the X-Jet to wrap the X-Jet around with her telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
I wonder why she couldn't have done that inside the jet.
I agree. That's probably the worst plan in this movie, is the fact that she sacrifices herself to save the team when it's one of those things where it's like, you have shielded people while you're also shielding yourself many a times. What was the situation here? And again, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't know if there's a line in dialogue that fixes that problem, but it still seems dumb.
I'm picturing in my head her leaving the X-Jet and Scott being like, no, Jean, all that shit. And her oh, we just need a sound bit of just everywhere. And her doing that, and just now in my head thinking about how telekinesis works.
Yeah.
She didn't need to be outside. Like I'm pretty sure projection like that doesn't stop because there's like a jet in the way. I don't think so.
I don't either, unless some reason the jet has like power suppression abilities in it, so that nobody accidentally destroys it from the inside.
Yeah, like I don't think that's how that ability works, but we could do, if you out there, just call to action right here in the middle of the episode. If you know how telekinesis works, especially Jean Grey's telekinesis, and why she could not have performed the shield around the X-Jet from inside the X-Jet, comment below. Give us a comment wherever you can and let us know why, because that makes zero sense. So let's roll for that one immediately. Roll for that one.
Okay, so I was gonna say that one, and just avoid Magneto and don't team up with them. Are probably our
right. We'll go two on this one.
So if Jean doesn't step out of the jet, we got an 8, which is technically a failure. So I guess she can't protect it all, and the jet goes down, and people get injured. Say your survivors are Wolverine, which I don't know. I don't think Wolverine's in the jet when they leave. I think he's still running around hunting down Stryker or something at that point.
Yeah, I think so. I think they go pick him up. I think they pull him out of the dam water or something. Dead. So everybody's dead. Maybe Nightcrawler.
Maybe not Magneto.
Yeah, maybe not him. I think Nightcrawler could boof out of there. Maybe that's what we get. We get a Nightcrawler boof of people out, and he bam. I'm so sorry. I sound noob.
Yeah.
Noob.
Instead of getting those epic Quicksilver scenes that we get later in the future, you get epic Nightcrawler bamf scenes.
Bamps everywhere. Maybe underwater it goes boom.
Yeah. Also with an 8, we don't get a third movie. So
no, we don't get a third movie. No, this is what happens. The Phoenix Force explodes out of the ship because that's what happens to her anyway. So it explodes out of the ship. The ship explodes from the inside. People are thrown everywhere, and that's how you have a couple of people die. No one drowns because that's sad. And so
everyone's disintegrated by the Phoenix Force.
That's even better. That
resides within her in this timeline.
That ties into another Make Sense episode of Titan Sub. So if you want to find out what happens when the Phoenix Force goes down in real life, go watch or listen to the Titan Sub Make Sense episode.
What happens if they avoid Magneto? Let's find out. That's a 13. It's a success, which means they find Alkali Lake. They do infiltrate it. They probably save people. There's probably a casualty. I would imagine that the casualty is probably Nightcrawler and Stryker's son, and maybe we lose Cyclops in that storyline. If he goes with them, I don't even know.
That is, Cyclops is at the end of the Alkali Lake one, so he is there. They find him again. So I think we're dealing with a situation where, like if Nightcrawler sacrifices himself, I think if Nightcrawler is the one who dies, that's where we get our epic Bamf moments, right? And at that last Bamf, he reaches up and gets someone out of where he's at, but maybe the tide rushes in and whooshes Nightcrawler away, and he can't Bamf away. So there we go. But success.
No, I like that one. And that takes us into our third X-Men movie.
Wait, we still got to roll for Stryker working with mutants. Still got to work for Stryker.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Stryker working with mutants instead of against them. A 5. That's surprising. Who the mutants? Well, okay, so with a 5, I think what happens is Stryker hides his hatred and racism for a little bit, but he only views these people as tools and weapons, much like Stryker does. Yes. And they ultimately turn on him like they do. And he ends up dead because of it.
I like that.
I think that's the simplest answer on that one.
I think you're dead to rights on that one.
Yeah. All right, now we can go on to X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah.
Set in the year 2006. Premiered 2006.
Yeah.
Society is polarized by the development of a mutant cure, and Magneto believes the government will weaponize it to eradicate all mutants. So he breaks his team out of jail and goes on a crusade to destroy the cure. Meanwhile, Jean Grey rises from the ashes with a dark alter ego known as Phoenix. And while both teams, the Brotherhood of Mutants and the X-Men, aim to enlist her to their cause. She eliminates Xavier and joins Magneto, with the belief that every mutant should have a choice if they take the cure or not. The X-Men go to stop Magneto and save Jean Grey.
Yeah. This is one of the ones not worth the watch, by the way. People, this is one of the ones.
Well, we got some memes out of this one. You know, we got the don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones wearing a muscle suit. Golly, yeah, that was
bad
interesting.
Helmet. We get Ellen Page as Kitty Pryde.
Elliot Page.
Elliot Page now. Then she was, sorry. Then he was Elliot. Sorry, it was Ellen Page before she became. This is a really hard sentence, and I'm trying to be respectful, and it's not easy.
Well, that's why we just call him Elliot.
That works. Yeah.
He's.
I wonder if they went back and changed the credits on that movie.
They've gone back and changed a few different credits, because I mean technically that's a dead name, so that is not the name at all. So that is the proper way. Yes. But some great moments in the movie, just visually and stuff like that. Magneto lifting the Golden Gate Bridge,
so
one of the most
Alcatraz.
fantastic. Yeah, that is a great Magneto moment.
And this goes back to what you were saying with the Statue of Liberty. They trying to find icons to use in a way that it's so phenomenally amazing looking and visually stunning. Mm-hmm. That was this attempt in this movie, was the Golden Gate Bridge being picked up and moved.
Mm-hmm. And I think it worked. I think they actually got it pretty good. But if the rest of the movie and the rest would have been as good as that moment, that would have been an epic into the franchise. They could have did the 3 movies and been fine. Yeah. But they just did not stick the landing. They ruined an absolute fantastic storyline in the Dark Phoenix, which is a Chris Claremont masterpiece of writing. The TV show did it amazing. But the movies could not stick the landing with it at all. And so I think the one of the very first plans that is a bad plan in this movie, oh god, it just left me, is Professor X and Magneto trying to basically hide Jean Grey's powers. That is a bad plan. Making mental blocks like Professor Xavier did on Jean Grey because they knew she was an absolute terrifying telepath and telekinetic. That's a bad idea. It never works out very well.
No, it does not. But it's also weird that Magneto knows this occurred, and so when he finds out she's awakened in that way, he's quick to be like, I'm going to go get her. It's like, dude, you know how dangerous she is, but you're like, she's going to help us destroy the cure. Okay.
Yeah, he's very optimistic, isn't he? He's very optimistic that he can control, the uncontrollable.
Oh, yeah. And that's probably one of the worst plans of the movie is Magneto thinking that he can take and control Phoenix.
Yeah.
Which is literally the downfall to the entire movie. Like, it's the downfall of Magneto in this movie. It's the downfall of Xavier in this movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the downfall of Jean Grey too.
Yeah. I mean, that is a very important part in every Dark Phoenix story is the control and the issue with trying to control something that is elemental.
Yep.
It's something that you can't define, you can't control. It's an all power. And we have this tendency as human beings, even the mutants in this world, of trying to control something because it has that much power, and you feel as if you wrangle it and get it together, like you'll be able to do something good with it or something bad or whatever you need. You'll be able to get it from controlling this power, which you can't.
No, you cannot. It is dangerous, slippery path. I'm trying to think if there's any other majorly bad plans in this movie.
I think the mutant weaponizing the mutant cure. Bad plan.
Yeah.
I think that is a bad plan because now you have the ability for a mutant to become a martyr.
Yes, this is true.
before, when they were a threat, if one died, there's a chance, and this goes into real life. If your perceived threat isn't human to your eyes, when they die, it doesn't matter. But with now a cure that could happen to, take away these powers that could maybe kill some of these people. We don't know. No one knows what happens when these people get powered. The moment a mutant dies because of the cure, that support system that was in the middle kind of is going to swing the other way and be like, wait a second,
true.
should we actually even be doing this in this way? Like, you're not just like voluntary cure, you're weaponizing it. This was a military raid and a mutant died because of what? Oh,
Yeah.
no. And then you start getting the people protesting and the upswell of people. No, this is wrong. And so, that's a bad idea too.
Yeah. If you do let it just stay as a voluntary choice, you end up in a situation where no one really passes as a martyr because they chose to take that risk.
Right.
And so, like, say, like the Morlocks, are like, we hate the fact that we're these kind of deformed mutants, so we want to take this and see if it helps. Well, if they pass away, it was their choice. They made that call. And you end up in a situation where, like you said, there is no martyr. So, yeah, the idea of potentially weaponizing it is a bad plan.
Yeah. And if let's say someone dies from the voluntary thing, and there's still going to be an outpouring of, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Yes.
But it's going to be a much more contained, and it's going to be a lot of conversation and legislation and stuff like that. And there will be protests and stuff like that, because rightfully so, there always should be in things like that. But the vitriol from people who are in the middle won't be there. They'll be like, well, they're going to figure it out. Because that's what happens in the world. People in the middle say whatever side that is in charge will figure it out to the point to where it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. So I think the plan that we need to, let's be honest, suppressing Jean's memories and trying to weaken her and then trying to control her is probably the worst plan in this entire movie.
Yep.
Does it make sense as to why they did it? Kind of, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, if you just if you just worked with her, tried to teach her like you normally plan to, and given her the choice, she could have potentially learned to control it and not become a destructive chaos monster.
Right. Work within the elemental system instead of against it and trying to control it. Yeah. So I think that's what we're rolling for at least the first one.
Definitely. So try to work with her instead of suppressing. Try to work with Jean Grey / Phoenix instead of suppressing her powers. Ow. Yep. That's a natural one. Phoenix would have taken over and potentially just destroyed the entire planet.
Well, she has galaxy destroying powers, I believe. I think we're done. I think we're toast. 616 or whatever the universe code is for this one. For theirs, I don't know what the X-Men code is. They're done. They're toast. Fox universe incurred.
The end.
Last stand, baby.
We also see the end of Wolverine in this situation, I guess. Or
Wolverine's the only thing floating around in space. I'm in the void, bub.
That's the Wolverine that Deadpool finds. Spoilers. Floating in the void.
Okay, what's the other plans?
The other plan is just not making sure you don't weaponize the cure. Yeah, make sure that you just maintain it as a choice. And really have science work on making sure it works perfectly through trial and error, like, how testing works for medications and whatnot. It's another Nat 1. Ooh. I don't know how to spin that one.
Wow. That I think no matter what, it gets weaponized.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially if
either that. Oh, wait, where are you going to go?
I was going to say, especially if Phoenix loses control, it definitely gets weaponized.
It definitely gets weaponized. Yeah, I was also thinking that maybe in a natural one scenario, because the plan is to use it voluntary. either not enough people volunteered, and then it becomes an issue to where it doesn't work, or people immediately die. Like immediately, like no, if like 5-6 people die when the first go, and it's like no, and then maybe mutants think, hey, you're setting us up, and then there's more conflict there because they think, oh yeah, this is death camp, this is death march.
Oh, this is the first movie we get Angel in too, isn't it?
Yes. Warren Worthington makes his appearance. Tries to cut off his wings as a kid. Well, actually, a very disturbing opening to this movie is him trying to cut off his wings, or successfully cutting off his wings, because I think they grow back.
Yeah, I think he gets them down to stumps, and then when the cure comes out, they're trying. I think his dad's trying to force it on him, and he like breaks free, and then sprouts his wings back and flies away. Goes to Xavier for like help or something, or like a place to hide. Man, oh man, I really wish we would have gotten that Archangel there with the metal wings, but we do digress. Maybe we'll get that later. Any other plans for X-Men: The Last Stand? Not that I know of. Like you said, it's really not worth the watch. It's worth it if you're wrapping up the trilogy, but it's not one of the better ones. Like I said, it was a lot of meme content. I did see this one on a midnight release after work in a packed, like literally every theater was showing this in the movie 16 or whatever we had. And I remember sitting, top row and thinking, wow, this is going to be great. And then walking out going, interesting. And then you had the post-credit scenes, of course, for that one where Magneto, we find out Magneto's still retaining a little bit of his power. And that Xavier's not actually dead. He transferred his consciousness into another body.
Which oh man, so Marvel, the MCU gets a lot of like credit for the post-credit scene, like being a big thing, you know what I mean? But it's the X-Men movies, actually. The X-Men movies, to me, that's where the post-credit scene like really became something, because of that. And like the Wolverine had a weird mid-credit scene that ties into stuff, which we're at a point right now after The Last Stand where I think we should actually take a little bit of an intermission, because there's some setup that has to happen once we get into the next 3 set of movies, because we're no longer going to be in this world that we were just in.
Yeah. We're moving over to another world, another timeline, another universe of X-Men.
And this is exactly where the things get dicey. So we're going to take a quick break here on Zaboys. Make it make sense. X-Men Extravaganza. X-Men Extravaganza. That is the title. We will be back to dive into the last 4 movies of this, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. We don't know, because we don't know if we need to talk about the next ones.
11.
Maybe 11. Maybe, yeah. Stay tuned to find out. I'm Positive C. That's Thorny. We'll be back in just a bit.
Thank you for listening to Make It Make Sense, a Zaboys Media podcast. Remember, you can always check us out on YouTube at Zaboys Media TV. You can find us on social media, or you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music. Stick around for part 2 of our X-Men Extravaganza coming at you next week here on Zaboys Make It Make Sense. Manawia and stay gold, Pony Bub.